Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today I would like to cover Conan and the Songs of the Dead, #1, published in 2006 by Dark Horse Comics. This was one of my favorite Conan things that Dark Horse published during the time that they controlled the rights to the Conan properties. I love this for a number of reasons. Chief among them, the incredible Timothy Truman artwork and the amazing synergy between author Joe Lansdale and artist Tim Truman as a team, as a creative team. The synergy that they show continues from their incredible work they did on Jonah Hex, Two Gun Mojo, and Riders of the Worm and such. The quality of the artwork is some of my favorite Tim Truman that I've ever seen in a regular comic book. It's just amazing. There is some sentiment I've found online that shows antipathy toward this series because of its somewhat irreverent tone and perhaps slightly out of character dialogue between Conan and one of the other main characters in the story, a thief named Alvaro. It's a lot like a buddy movie, but I kind of like it. It's a neat dynamic. There's a number of other visual things that I love about this too. It's just a really cool story. And I will warn folks ahead of time that this is not a G-rated or PG-rated story. I would say it's probably more of an R-rated story. So there's going to be some nudity and, of course, incredible graphic violence. But if you've seen any of my Savage Sword coverage, it's probably nothing worse than that. So let's go ahead and move into this. Very cool, very visually stunning depiction of Conan from Dark Horse. In the Stygian desert, food is scarce. The desert is about surviving. You take what is offered, what is closest. And we can see another great thing about this story. Conan is not just running around in a loincloth. He is actually dressed for the occasion. Whatever is slowest. Wild hog, wild dog, it's all the same. It means only one thing, life. This figure work from Truman, it's amazing, really cool. And here we see Conan comes upon some kind of weird dwelling, and he sees a familiar face along with a couple of unfamiliar faces buried to their necks in the sand. You? My, but you get around. Alvazar, you look a little warm, my friend. Last time I saw you, you were much more comfortable. You look like a plant growing in the ground. Hello, and yes, I am heated. You look fresh compared to your companions. I'm new to the area. Get caught with your worm in the wrong hole, Zamorian? Stole the demon's root, alas. They wanted it back. They took it back. Water? Demon's root. Long, phallic, covered in jewels, supposed to possess magical powers. Does it? Would I be up to my neck in sand? Would I be up to my neck in sand? Not as good as water, but it's better than sand. So Conan gives him some of the blood from the dog that he had caught in the previous scene. And as he's conversing with his old friend here, he is set upon by these fellows. I take it you see my erstwhile companions, happy bunch. No, not really. The prisoner is not to be fed or watered. This is the spot of execution. Who says? The priests have set. This man is a thief. And the others? We just didn't like them. We wait here until this one is dead, or near dead. That is our mission. It is the will of God. It is the will of the priests. Let me assign you another mission. You? Call it a suggestion. But the mission will help you feel better. You leave. Tell your God and his priest this worthless dog died, and I let you live. Ha! One man gives us orders. You're right. It doesn't seem fair. And this is incredible. I love the way Tim Truman depicts action in this. And let me go back and actually make sure I cover all the creatives involved in this. Yeah, so Another reason this is incredible is Dave Stewart is on colors. Letters are by Richard Starkings and Comcraft and Jimmy Betancourt. Truman, of course, does the cover. Designer is Darren Fabric. I'm not actually sure what that means. Maybe he designed the logos and stuff. Assistant editors, Matt Dreyer and Dave Marshall. Editor, Scott Alley. Publisher, Mike Richardson. So, very cool. Conan gave him a chance. And this is going to be a continuing theme through this 6-issue series. And this is incredible here. Almost entirely dialogue and exposition-free panels, but the storytelling carries all the information that we really need. It's brilliant. And I just love Tim Truman's depiction of Conan here. He's very visceral, not overly muscled, incredibly capable and dynamic. I love the flatter, broader nose. Just he looks really cool. This guy, spare me! You had your chance. Besides, you stepped on my dog. Tell your Stygian gods hello from Conan the Cimmerian. This open panel here where he decapitates this guy is incredible. I love he's not just using the traditional broadsword in these stories. He's using this incredible long knife, which is awesome. It's really like almost like a gladius or a short sword. I do a few favors. Consider yourself special. So he puts this poor bastard out of his misery. Might I ask for a slightly different favor, Cimmerian? Other than all this sand, this heat, I feel quite spry. You don't seem all that spry to me. I'm just holding back. So here Conan grudgingly digs him out, and the two headed toward their camels here to this oasis. They are testy about theft in Stygia, often the case. After all I went through, you would think they would just let me have it. I earned it. How inconsiderate of them. Mine again. So they're going through the camels of the guys that Conan just killed. And great open panel here, so showing Conan not so fast. I don't think so. I stole it, and now I've stolen it from you. You're not stealing, you're just taking. I'll consider it a present from you to me for all my good deeds, like not leaving you up to your neck in ants and sand. Yes, I can see that. That seems fair. More than fair. I don't like it, but I suppose it's fair. Really great. Now Conan does have the broadsword out here. Again, I love the non-traditional garb for Conan in this. The choices they make are really cool. When I sell it, I will buy you a drink and maybe a woman. A woman for sure, a drink maybe. Perhaps a sheep for you, a woman for me. A sheep! To eat, of course. I'm not really that fond of sheep. Been known to eat the ass out of a dead mule when I'm hungry. But actually, I'm a duck man myself, especially when the duck is ripe. Sheep taste like wet wool with something dead in it. You are making me tired and angry. Just saying is all. So this kind of repartee continues throughout the 6 issues. If that is not your cup of tea for a Conan story, if you're more fond of the taciturn, less quippy Conan, then this might not be your brand of Conan story, but I love it. It's a refreshing change from what we've seen so much before and after this. So now we get a little background. I was paid to steal it. I had been drinking. I don't remember what the argument was about, either horses or women, but he drew his sword and I killed him. So Alvazaro is he's no amateur with a blade either, as we can see here. If this dead man was your friend, if you wish to kill me, I suggest you get started, because when you're dead, I still have a lot of drinking to do. Quite the contrary. I would hire you to do a task. How much? 100 pieces of gold, which I can give you now. And if you accomplish the task, I will pay you 10 times this, Zamorian. How do I know you have 10 times that? You don't. But how can you lose? At worst, you will have 100 pieces of gold. At best, you will have 10 times that, a fortune. You could really see the gorgeous colors doing their work on this page. And Dave Stewart is just masterful in this format. It is slick paper, but it looks incredible. I love this blue on this wizard's cloak. And of course, this wizard's going to be appearing more in the story. He's got a story of his own. The Stygian wanted the demon's root. I had never heard of it before coming to that tavern. It was kept in the belly of the world, and it was guarded, but not very well, least not well enough for a fine warrior like myself. Even the big snake was dumb. So great, we get a nice couple of pages of Alvazaro's exploits here, looking really cool with this double-bladed fighting style that he employs. It was something of a bother, but I found the root, and we can see here that the root is obviously indeed a very phallic object. It wasn't what I expected. It came loose easily, and I got away easily as well, or so I thought. But someone saw me, reported me to the priest's guards. They overwhelmed me, sneaky sons of dogs and vermin. Next thing I knew, I was buried in the sand. They took the root, and they took my gold. So, great weaving of Alvazaro's face here in the flashback to the current moment with him in the corner of this page. Very nice storytelling. I mean, and Tim Truman, he just makes it look so easy. You always were a blundering thief, Alvazar. This man who was to pay you 10 times the gold you received, where is he? Can't say. How are you to collect your reward? He said he would meet me in this desert. Come to the desert, he said. I will find you. In all this waste, I assumed if I did not find him, then the demon root was mine to sell as I chose if I found him. How odd. So they're being surrounded by these crazy rocks with these menacing faces. By the great god Bel, Crom, him too. They are still moving, I noticed. So they're being swept off their camels here as the very environment attacks them. But they find themselves herded toward this insane, creepy castle. How do we fight this? What a page here. I love the open panel interrupting this full page illustration of this extremely menacing looking temple or castle or edifice. And this is awesome. As this, what appears to be a female djinn appears. Maybe it's not all bad. Perhaps she has a sister. You have brought the root of the bull, the demon's root. How could you know that? I am the djinn of the stones. This is the house of night. I am slave to him who sent you. Want to change masters? The root opens the lock that holds the ring. What? Speak sense, girl, or whatever you are. I am a djinn, but I am woman, most unsatisfied. My favorite kind. The root for the ring for the sorcerer. I don't like the sound of that. You've been dealing with sorcery, Alvazar? Next to boiled potatoes, I hate sorcery the most. Your prize goes here. So the horn is going to go in this very suggestive hole, and Conan places it in there at the urgings of the djinn. And I love the colors on the djinn, too, that Dave Stewart does here, clearly showing that she is some kind of ethereal being. And this is incredible with this panel here, showing all these cadaverous forms hanging from the ceiling. Crom, how can this be? Bad decorators. I don't mind making a man dead, but I dislike spending time with the dead. It's bad luck. You're the one too stupid to know you are dealing with a sorcerer. And what of this ring? I am lonely, brave Conan. Let us speak of that. How do you know my name? I know much. There is a price for what you seek. There is a price for what you seek, Conan of Samaria. I am the price. Tim Truman draws beautiful women for sure. And here, beautifully shown as she begins, this ethereal being begins to take flesh. So of course her colorization changes to a more natural tone. I'll just wait in the other room with the rocks. While we lie here, where you touch me, I am real. Touch me, Conan. So Conan is down for it here as he disrobes and they're getting to it. But meanwhile, these strange cadaverous forms are not so dead as they might seem. I am satisfied for another 100 years. 100 years? I'm better than I thought. That is my curse. That is my servitude. And you were my reward. What of my reward? The ring. It is yours, but first, Crom. Nothing is simple with women. Next, the Ring of Fire. So, totally great. I do love this 6-issue series quite a bit. And again, this one is available in dollar bins. I re-procured my 6 issues by going through dollar bins over the course of the last couple of years. And I've got all 6 issues, and it is my intent to cover all 6 issues on the show, intermixed with some other things. In the meantime, I do hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like and subscribe, tell your friends, and I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.